4-2-5 over G is a very, very, very unique and tricky defense to use in college football 27. Formerly known as Big Nickel, it uses a third safety as the nickel defender instead of a third cornerback. Having a third safety gives you a lot of flexibility to create macros for things like this where you can absolutely shut down RPOs. But at the end of the day, it is still a nickel defense and you can play lockdown coverage when needed. Not to mention, you can still get crazy pressure with some of the same glitch blitzes that are in other formations in the game, such as 6-1 even. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys all of my coaching adjustments, all of my settings, all of my macros, all of my coverages, and walking you through exactly how I run this defense. Now, I just want to say this is definitely not the best defense in the game. However, it's still very competitive. I feel like pretty easy to understand, and I think there's something a little nice about running something off meta. It's unique. People aren't used to seeing it, and with how heavy unbalanced formations are in the meta right now, it's really good having an unbalanced formation that'll shut down things like I-form runs and bunch plays and those kinds of things. So definitely make sure to stick around, watch this all the way through. There's so many tips that are going to be hidden in here, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you guys understand how I run defense and how I got to top 15 on the head-to-head ranked leaderboards. All right, so first we're going to go over the settings and coaching adjustments. You're going to want, for this, it's for the defensive playbook, it's the 4-2-5 shell is what I use, but this will also work just fine out of 4-2-5 man pressure. The formations that you gain and lose in these two I don't use them anyways, so you can use either or. I just use 4-2-5 shell. And if you're looking to run this in Ultimate Team, it's the Tennessee playbook. I recommend having timing-based catching on defense set at 5 yards. Defensive ball hawk on, you definitely want this on. Defensive heat seeker assist, I have this on off. I haven't really noticed a difference. A lot of people have it on and say 200%. Just do whatever you like. I just personally don't use it, and I feel like I do fine. Switch stick delay, I do none. A lot of people have it on slight so that they don't get caught in a switch stick or like a dive. Try to make an adjustment. I prefer none. I like to be able to switch as soon as possible if I need to. Got defensive switch assist on off. This will make your defenders react weirdly when you switch onto them. You definitely don't want them doing that. And then controlled player are on. This part's just a preference thing. That's it for settings. Now for coaching adjustments, I would recommend auto flip. You definitely want that on. Defender aggressive, have this on aggressive. I have gap integrity unbalanced. Option read key conservative because I want the quarterback to have to hand it off on a read option. On a pitch key, I have it on aggressive because I want the quarterback to have to keep it on a pitch. For the RPO read key, I would do conservative just so if it's like an RPO read option, they're still going to focus on the quarterback. And then RPO pass key conservative. This way, you're going to be defending like slant routes on RPOs and that kind of stuff. I have cornerback depth on 5 yards, width on default. Safety depth is going to be on 9 yards, but the width is going to be pinch. I have safety midpoint on defaults. I haven't messed with this a whole lot, but I've done fine with this on default. If you personally like this on something else, go for it. Ball hawk, you want this on aggressive. For coverage strategy, I would put zone strategy on aggressive. I haven't messed with none of this plaster stuff. I think that's pretty much it. So let me go down a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much it for coaching adjustments as well. Now for the macros, I'm giving you guys 10 macros, and you basically need all of these if you're going to run this defense. The only one you might not need, I guess, are the blitzes and the Hulk defense, but I would definitely recommend having the other ones. I guess cover 2 match is kind of optional too. If you don't run man coverage, I guess you don't need the man. Actually, I take that back. Like, I would recommend having all these if you can. But if there's any you don't like, you don't think you're going to use, feel free just to not do them. But starting off, this one is going to be pretty simple. It's our base defense. You're going to have show blitz linebackers. Don't do anything with your defensive line. I have found that leaving defensive line on default in 4-2-5 over G gives you the best chance of shooting runs with the Texas stunt. Then you're going to have Texas 4-man, like I was saying right there. The second adjustment is contains. All this one is show blitz linebackers. QB contain both. And then defensive line pinch. All right, so for 2-man in, you're going to have coverage shading over top, route commit inside. I actually think that's it for this. That's it for 2-man in, and then for cover 2 match, this one's really simple. All it is soft squat on the cornerback 1, soft squat on the cornerback 2. Okay, for RPO defense left, you're going to show blitz linebackers. You are going to Texas 4 stunts. You're going to put coverage strategy and ultra aggressive. You're going to outside third on cornerback 1, outside third on cornerback 2. Free safety is going to be inside third. Strong safety is going to be hook curl. And then we're going to have SLB1 on the hard flat, SLB2 on a curl flat. For RPO defense right, we are going to show blitz linebackers, Texas 4-man stunt. You're going to put coverage strategy on ultra aggressive. You're going to put CB1 in outside third, CB2 in an outside third, free safety inside third, strong safety on a hook curl. SLB1 is going to be on a curl flat, and SLB2 is going to be on a hard flat. For blitz left, you're going to show blitz both. You're going to put curl. You're going to put your curl zone drops on 20 yards. On CB1, you're going to have a cloud flat. CB2 is going to be on an outside third. Free safety will be on a deep half. Strong safety will be on a blitz. You're going to have a hook curl. You're going to have a hook curl left on your D tackle 1, a curl right on your D tackle 2. Nose tackle, put hook curl left again. SLB1 is going to be on a middle read. SLB2 is going to be on a hard flat. And that's it for this one. For blitz right, you're going to have show blitz linebackers. Defensive line is going to be spread. I forgot to mention this. Blitz left, your D line is going to be spread also. Go back to blitz right. So yeah, show blitz linebackers. D line spread. Your curls are going to be at 20 yards. CB1 outside third. CB2 outside third. Strong safety on a blitz. D tackle 1 is going to be on a curl left. D tackle 2 is going to be on a hook curl right. And nose tackle do curl left again. You have SLB1 hard flat. SLB2 hard flat. For Hulk defense, we're going to have show blitz linebackers. Leave the D line how it is. We're going to Texas 4 stunt. We're going to do cornerback depth 3. Cornerback width wide. CB1 is going to be on a blitz. CB2 is going to be on a blitz. And then finally, we have 2-man under. On this one, you're going to shade underneath, have route commit on default. And then for this one, we actually are going to press cover. And yeah, that's it for the macros. Again, you don't need every single one of these, but these are the ones I have. And if you want to run exactly how I do it, I would recommend having all of these if you can. Okay, so what you're going to do when you get on the field is there's a couple things you need to do. First of all, how I set this up is you want to have your best D tackle in this D tackle spot. This is the nose tackle spot. You want a fast defensive end or linebacker at both edge spots. So I have Dylan Stewart and Colin Simmons. And then right here, I would also try to put a good fast defensive end. So if you need to put linebackers at one of your defensive end spots to move your defensive end in to D tackle, I would do that. I recommend having D tackle fast edge, either a linebacker or defensive end. Your best D tackle, fast defensive end, fast edge is how I would set this up. And then all you're going to do is put shell on cover 2. And after that, you're pretty much good to go. All your coaching adjustments should have saved from the menu. And yeah, we're ready to run some defense. So the way I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be showing you guys every macro I have and what it does. And then I'll be showing you individual coverages that I run. So let's just come out in good old cover 3 sky. And first of all, we have our base D, right? The base defense. And you'll notice that all that does is Texas stunt and then show blitz linebackers. What this does is it's going to help us if you think your opponent might be running the ball. This is going to help you blow up any run on the inside, any inside zone run. As you see, the Texas stunt, I messed up with my user there, unfortunately. Let's try it one more time. Call the base defense. And you can run this out of any 4-down lineman set, whatever you're doing, right? Like, look at that. Blow it up. It really help you on, like, first down, or if you think your opponent might be running. They're absolutely stuffed once again. Then you'll notice, too, if you come out with this base defense, just because it's first down or you don't know what they're doing, it's still going to be fine against the pass. Like, it's not like you're run committing or anything. You're just basically committing your D lineman to stop the run. And worst case scenario, you can just play pass defense. The only thing that might mess you up is you might be vulnerable to them. That was a terrible user. You might be vulnerable to them scrambling with their quarterback. But that's going to be where our next macro comes in. So if you don't think your opponent's running the ball, but you still don't want to pass commit, so let's say we're in like a 3rd and 10 or something, and you don't want to pass commit because you don't want to give up a run for a first down, this macro contains that we have is going to do this glitch contain that you might have been hit with. All you're going to do is just pick a linebacker you want to user, so I'm going to user this one. Just run down to that side, and I'm actually going to run this out of cover 2. You can run out of cover 2, cover 3, whatever. As long as you have these 4 linemen rushing, it's going to work pretty well. Choose who you want to user and just go on the tackle and just harass him. What I recommend is holding the left stick down to jump the snap, right? And then you'll notice those contains just run straight around the tackles, and it just glitches the game. You're only sending 4. Whoops, that was a mistake. Gotta reset the stunt. You're only sending 4 blitzers, but they're just gonna come in free most of the time. And if they try to scramble out, obviously they're just gonna get sacked by the contain. So if you're mixing this up well with your base defense, you're really gonna like stress your opponent out. And a lot of times, they're gonna make mistakes because of it. Throw picks, whatever. Take a bunch of sacks and get in a terrible down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. These first 2 macros are really simple. There's not a lot to it at all. But yeah, I'll just show you guys one more time. Just don't engage with the tackle. Just like jump the snap, harass him a little bit, and you see our contain on the left came in free on that one. For this next macro, I actually recommend running this 4-2-5 over G linebacker blitz. And then we're still shelled in cover 2, so they're not going to be expecting a blitz here. What you're going to want to do is call that 2-man in macro, and basically everyone's defending inside over the top. So the out routes and corner routes are what's going to get you. All you need to do is just try to defend long enough for that blitz to get in. It'll get in pretty fast. Those linebackers get down pretty quickly. And something else you can do, even if you want to, is just call the macro, right? So let's do our 2-man in. Like hover the safety again, distract him a little bit, and then go user a different zone. And you'll have like a free user and hopefully a free rush with only 5 defenders. So yeah, that's pretty much how you run this one. You could run it out of cover 2 man if you wanted to. You could run it out of this. The only reason I don't like to is because I feel like if they have a lot of time, this could leave something open. Like this corner route's going to get wide open because everyone is committed inside. I only call it 2-man in just because like it's making like as soon as I hear 2-man, like I'm thinking, man, if you want to call this just like cover 0 or anything else, you can, but that's just, I know that seems weird, but that's just what I call it. And yeah, you can just guard the running back, guard an easy receiver you think is going to be easy, or again, user one of these guys. Because this still, like, they probably aren't thinking man blitz, right? Someone comes in free, we have an extra user, perfect. Yeah, get creative with it. That's the 2-man in macro. I'd recommend doing it out of a man blitz, but cover 2-man is perfectly fine as well. Just as long as you have good coverage, like you can switch to safety, user the running back, whatever you need, whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm gonna actually skip while we're on man coverage to the 2-man under macro. You want to call this out of cover 2-man. You don't want to be doing this out of like a man blitz, obviously. And you'll notice everyone's pressed except for the inside defenders. You can use whoever you want again here. This should be better at like not leaving corner routes and that kind of stuff, out routes and stuff. Everybody's playing underneath coverage. I just blew my guy right there. You'll notice this coverage can be extremely powerful because it does really good at guarding any routes with cuts in it out of man coverage. And anything that gets over the top, you have safety help. Let's do that one more time. And I'm actually going to, whoops, mess this whole play up. Have 2-man under. I would call contains 2. Let's just use the safety on this one. And yeah, that's honestly can be a really good way to annoy your opponent. Like this one, you're kind of showing that it's man coverage with the press cornerbacks, but that's the best way to do it if you're going to be doing shading underneath like this. Okay, now for cover 2 match, in particular, you are going to be running this out of this play, the strong safety blitz 2. And basically what's happening is now on the sidelines, yeah, I would recommend using this blitzing strong safety right here. Put him on a middle read to make it like a cover 2. And what you're doing, you can call contains 2. And what this is going to do is you'll notice on the outside, our defenders are going to match. Now, it didn't match with the corner well, obviously, but okay, so same thing here, but now we're doing it against a bunch. You'll notice on the outside, our defenders are actually going to match all over the field and play really good coverage. And that's exactly what we're looking for. With your safety, it's kind of, you might have to use the running back a lot of the time because he doesn't get matched by these zones very well, I feel like. Unless he's in like a flats to a side that doesn't have anything else outbreaking, but it's kind of hard to run. Again, I would not run this every single play. I would just throw this in every once in a while to throw them off. The whole point of this defense I run is to give them different looks. So if you want, you can even put this inside safety on like a middle third and use this like the weak side linebacker here, and just know you're responsible for any in breaking routes if that happens to happen. So like right there, we needed to guard that because the other guy matched with that route. So just pay attention to it. Uh, it's not the easiest thing in the world to run. It's like honestly, like it can be really glitchy and just bag everything and confuse your opponent, but it also can have a blown coverage if you don't cover the right guy. Because you got to remember, your guy is always responsible for somebody in match, and it's like man coverage. If you don't guard your guy, no one else is going to. So just pay attention to that and throw this in every once in a while. You can really throw off your opponent by doing that. All right, we're halfway there, already on to macro number 6. And this is great because you can call this one out of like pretty much any play that you have already came out of the field in. And this is our RPO defense macros, and this is gonna be great for people who like to formation shift into RPOs to like quick hike you and so you can't get ready for it. So right here, I think he's gonna be throwing the RPO to the left. You want to call it based on where they're throwing it. So we're gonna do RPO defense left. So after you call RPO defense left because you think they're passing it to the left, you are going to man cover the hook curl on the running back. The only reason I put a hook curl there is to help you identify faster who you're going to put on the running back, and then you're just going to stack up right here. And you'll notice because of all of our guys standing over here, this linebacker is not going to be targeted by any of the blockers. And all you're going to do is stand right here. This ultra aggressive hard flat will fly down to defend that pass, and you could just hang out in the middle and help with the run in the middle. Look at that. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to throw. And you just feel like the run is getting shut down, but the RPO keeps getting there. You can always run over with your user to that side too. The beautiful thing about this, especially if it's an RPO, is that we have the people from the outside over here running to the inside and the people from the inside running to the outside. That's confusing blocking assignments, and pretty much nobody's going to be blocked how they should be. This hard flat is going to get down, fly to that pass, and this guy is going to run to the running back and help with the run, and you still got all these defenders over here with the Texas stunt. So just do whatever's been killing you. Help guard whatever you need to. But yeah, this is honestly a really glitchy way to stop RPOs. Something you're going to notice too when you run this is that even if it ends up being a pass, you're still going to have pretty good pass coverage on the field. Like, I know something got open right there. It's not going to be perfect. Like, I definitely wouldn't call this if you think they're passing. Only call this if you think it's going to be an RPO, obviously, or if you're scared it might be and it's been killing you. And you are more worried about the RPO than the pass. But the point is, you still have a chance to play defense. But yeah, that's how you do the RPO defense left, and I'm going to go ahead and show you RPO defense right. It's exactly the same thing. And this time, we're in cover 4. I just want to show you, you can call this in any defense you're in. So let's do RPO defense right, because I think the throwing is to the right. And again, you're just going to man up the hook curl on the running back, user this safety, come over here. And it's the exact same thing as before. Help with a run. That hard flat's going to fly down and play the RPO. It's a really unfortunate tackle animation to get him right there, but I mean, yeah, this will work against read wide flat, bubbles, any of that kind of stuff, like the overpowered RPOs everybody runs. There we go. That's a better tackle. The point is, if you look to the middle of the field right here, that run play is going to be absolutely shut down. There's nowhere to run. I actually get the pick on that one. So yeah, this is a great way to confuse the blockers, RPO defense left or right, and just shut down an RPO. They're not going to be able to run. They're not going to be able to pass. I will mention this too. One of the biggest uses for your user can be guarding the QB if it's like a RPO QB blast or something like that. But yeah, other than that, that's the 2 RPO defense macros, and let's get into the next one. All right, now let's get into our 2 blitz macros. This is kind of glitchy. It won't work all the time, but when you can get it to, it's just amazing. So if you're going to be doing this blitz, I recommend coming out in the strong safety blitz 3. And then you'll notice here our blitzing strong safeties on the left, so we're going to call blitz left. And it's zoning out our 2 inside defensive tackles. So that's why it's important to have like a strong defensive end here to get back to that curl flat and play defense. When you're calling it to the left, you're going to use this mid read, and what I recommend is just standing right here once again to confuse this tackle. And then you'll see that blitzer just comes free off the left. You're only blitzing 3 people and still getting pressure with 8 zones on the field. Given one of them's a defensive tackle and defensive end. But, I mean, guys, you have 8, like, You have 8 zones on the field, and you're getting instant pressure. This is an amazing blitz to have in your arsenal. And you can call this out of other plays if you wanted to. It's just I like the blitzing linebacker already on the field, so it's easy for me to see which way I got to call the blitz. But right here, or the blitzing strong safety, confused me. You can see the nickel safeties on the right, so you're going to call blitz right, and it's the exact same thing. Show blitz if the game doesn't do it for some reason. But when you're doing blitz right, this is important. You're not using an inside defender. You're actually going to use the strong safety who's not in the deep zone. You can change his zone if you need to. Unfortunately, we can't change his zone in the macro just because of how 4-2-5 works. You have 2 strong safeties, and you can only macro the nickel safety, but you can change him manually if you want to, or just leave him on the zone he was in already. It doesn't really matter. And then again, just confuse the side of the line with the blitzer, and it actually got picked up right there. But again, we have 8 zones on the field, so nothing gets open. Mess with these guys, that can help a little bit, I feel like. And yeah, that time he came in free. I have found, honestly, for some reason, it comes in better on the left than the right, but if you want to call it on the right, I definitely don't call this every single play because they can just start stepping up and scrambling up the middle. I guess if you're doing it to the right, you could blitz this D tackle. That would probably help a good amount because then it's going to force these linebackers to, yeah, that'll help you out. So blitz that D tackle if it's not coming at them the right. You only have 7 zones, but again, having a safety screaming off the edge is going to be a good blitz. All right, now we're on the final macro. This is going to be Hulk defense, and if you see your opponent's an I-form Hulk, just call it. I like to do it out of cover 2 because you still have deep safeties and good middle zones in case it happens to be a passing play. So then what you're going to do is notice how 4-2-5 over G is an unbalanced defense, and which is good because we're facing an unbalanced formation. If your strength, your extra nickel safety is on the side that has like the tight ends that they're probably gonna be running stretch to, just use the safety right here and stack up right here. And as soon as the ball gets snapped, you're just gonna try to get to the zone right here. That spot right there. This blitzing cornerback on the right can either get in free. Down here, he can either get in free or distract those blockers to pull him out more and force the running back to try to have to cut in, and you're just covering this lane with your safety. I missed the tackle right there, unfortunately, but that's pretty much what you're doing. You can run this out of cover 4 if you want your safeties to be in run fits, but then the outside of your field is really weak if they happen to run the ball. That's if they happen to pass the ball. That's why I do this out of cover 2. But wow, and that's the thing about I-form Hulk, man. You're not in power I Hulk. You can be running the best defense for it, and they can still just like get 1,000 yards on it, but. Let's try this one more time. This usually works like really well. Like right there, yeah, it just gets bottled up. There's too much confusion for the blockers. And you can even get really aggressive like by bringing this guy down and then bringing the safety over, sitting right here instead. I just don't think it's necessary, and it can be kind of risky. And this safety is not in a run fit, so he's gonna back up anyways. I would just do it. Like, bring him over a little bit if you want to, if you have time, but I would just sit right here. Just get to this spot right here. Don't miss the tackle like me, and you should be good. But, yeah, I like to say just right here, it can usually hide your user from the blockers, and that gives you a free lane to shoot and make the tackle. I missed right there, but we still made the tackle even with me missing. And hopefully this way, there's enough commotion in the middle for you to not get for a blocker to not get their hands on you, and you can just make the tackle. Just like that. Perfect. I can't show you guys this because I'm doing this on Ultimate Team head practice mode, unfortunately, but let's pretend they flipped this and this guy, like the formation didn't flip. That happens sometimes. It's annoying, but it does. If that happens, then I would recommend, so like pretend their strength is to the left now and you think they're going to run stretch left. Bring this guy over just a little bit, and then you're going to bring the opposite side safety over here. And that'll help. And then you're going to stack up behind this guy again in the same thing. You would run out left and make the tackle yourself, and that's pretty much all you got to do to stop Hulk. They might still score sometimes, but if they're just sitting in Hulk, you can usually stop them out of this and get them in a third down and force them to pass, and that's really all you're looking to do. It's not perfect, but I feel like it is pretty good. Like, see, it's just so much confusion for the blockers, and that's Hulk defense. All right, now that we're done with all the macros, we're going to look at the individual coverages I like to run. For your audibles, I would do cover 2 man, cover 4 palms, cover 3 sky, and cover 2. So cover 3 sky is just obviously a really solid play. We're shelled in cover 2, so they don't know what we're in, but there's some opponents you can literally just sit in cover 3 sky and win the game by like not doing anything else if they just are bad at the game, or especially with aggressive zones, which we have on, it'll play things really well. But what I like to do is turn this into a cover 3 cloud. So all you're going to do is put your weak side safety on a deep half like that, and then your cornerback on a cloud flat like that. And then you're just going to use your zone. The nice thing about cover 3 is that it's like probably the best switch sticking defense in the entire game. It's very balanced. You have a good number of underneath zones and over top zones, and again, when you're running this, you can call your base defense or contain defense depending on what you think they're doing. There's not much to say about cover 3. I mean, you guys know how it works. You could get beat by verticals, blood concepts like that. But it's just a really good switch sticking defense, and in my opinion, like what should be your main defense out of big nickel over G. Let's do base defense here. Obviously, like I know he's passing the ball because I called the play, but let's just do that anyways. And yeah, amazing defense. Now for cover 4 palms, I would recommend using this 3 red cook, but just know this is still an important zone because you're going to be responsible for probably the first drag. Like right here, this drag on this tight end, that's our responsibility, and I actually blew it right there, and that's why he's able to get a nice like 10-yard pickup on us. But it's nice because again, if you like, look at this. This is what our cover 3 when we're shelling in cover 2. This is what cover 3 looks like. This is what cover 3 cloud looks like. The same thing, just with different zones. Then when we call cover 4 palms, it looks literally the exact same. So your opponent is gonna have to be guessing and calling plays that can beat both, or committing to beating one and potentially just having a terrible play on the field. I personally think palms is better than quarters, so that's why I like palms. You can run quarters if you want to. Just know that your defenders are going to be a little bit more aggressive, and they could get beat deep easier, especially with like corner routes and scissor concepts like that. But again, just run match is really good. I mean, it can bag everything on the field. It can confuse your opponent if you're switching between that zone and man, and it's just a good definitely one of the better plays in the formation. That's why we have it set in our audibles. Then right here we have just cover 2. In our audibles, this is mainly I'm going to be using this for goal line defense, right? So I like to call base defense unless you like for sure they're going to run. I'm not playing underneath, by the way. If you're on the 1 yard line, I would say play underneath, but I'd say play underneath, but the zones on aggressive still do a really good job of defending, as you can see. Something else you can do to improve this is do our contain macro that we have, and then but put your fast defensive end in the middle and the QB spy. So the contain still can just come in free, but now you also have a QB spy helping out. Like that's such a glitchy goal line defense right there. Again, our last one we have set here, cover 2 man. So again, when you're calling this, call your 2 man under, call your contains to get that extra pass rush. You can use your a tight end, a running back, or a safety if you want to. Just know if you're using a safety, stuff's going to be open over the top. That's the point of having the safeties, is to guard that stuff that's going to get open over the top. And just look at how well everything is covered right there. Our post route got open. That's like the one thing you got to watch for, is like something like that deep, but that's the point of the safeties. And since I took the safety away, he's going to complete that. You're just hoping nothing's able to get open like with a cut because of the underneath leverage messing with it, and then you can guard over the top with a safety, or just user somebody underneath and let the safeties do their thing. Let's go 2 man under contains, or stand right here so they don't. And yeah, just like that, absolute cage. Unfortunately, he gets a scramble, but that could be in any formation. Cover 3 match. This can be a really fun one to run if your opponent is hammering you. If your opponent is hammering you like with out routes, like if you're trying to run cover 4 palms and they're just running out routes and flats to the running back, this will do a better job of defending those and still be able to provide some match cover. And something glitchy you can do too out of cover 3 match that's nice is like, let's say there's a flat on the right or like a out route that's messing with us. You can turn this again into like a cover 3 cloud. So let's do like a hard flat over here. So this is gonna be like a cover 3 cloud, but with a hard flat, because like my opponent keeps throwing that running back on a flat route and it's killing me. So the right side of the field is zoned out, but then the left side of the field is matched. Like we have defenders running to cover. So you can kind of make this almost like a cover 5, with you will, a cover 3 on the left and a cover 2 on the right. That can work really well. Like if your opponent is looking to one side of the field, like the right side of the field, we have the zones to take care of it. And then if he looks back to the left, with the routes coming across, our defenders are going to match really well and guard all that for us. So that's something that you can set up cover 3 cloud out of cover 3 sky or cover 3 match. Just know if you do that, do this setup cover 3 cloud out of match, your strong side defenders are going to be matching and your weak side are going to be zoned out. But that could be really powerful to confuse your opponent if they think it's zone and then one side ends up being match. You guys already know we call strong safety blitz 3 to set up our blitz macro. We call strong safety blitz 2 to set up our cover 2 match, and I'll actually show you that one more time. Remember, you're using the safety. This call contains 2. And it's just match. You just got to pay attention. Right now, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier when I showed you guys the cover 2 match macro. A lot of the time, when you call this, you are going to have to guard the running back because your matching defenders are going to care more about defending those receivers on their routes. So you might have to guard the running back yourself, but no, everything else is just caged. And this could be a really powerful defense, especially if, once again, like I say for everything, you're just throwing it in every once in a while and your opponent isn't expecting it. That's what's good about coverage shells. You can keep your opponent guessing for the entire game. They're not. You can run match, man, blitz, zone. They're just not going to know. I'm just having a poor user right now. That's why I'm struggling right here. And I know what play it is. So let's do this one more time, but actually these are good. So again, we're doing this. I see, oh shit, the running back's on a route. That's our man. We got to guard in this match coverage. And perfect. We get the pick. Exactly how you do it right there. All right, so last thing, when you're calling this linebacker blitz, again, I like to do the 2-man in. And again, like, it does not look like a blitz at all. You're going to catch your opponent off guard right here. Just go harass one of them. Your other blitzer's going to come in free. And just like that. This is such a nice blitz to have if it's like a 3rd and 3 or something, and you can force it into a tough 4th down, or even if it's like a 4th and 2, you know. On 4th and 2, it might fail if, like, because they're going to be passing short to get the first down. So like that right there, unfortunately, would have been a nice conversion. But if it's like 3rd and 10, they're probably going to be running something more like this, like a Y sail, and that's going to do better. Like, he has to throw that, but it's man cover. He's not going to get any yards. So yeah, this is a great 3rd and medium, 3rd and long play call, this blitz with the 2-man in macro. It's a great time to run linebacker blitz. And yeah, that's the linebacker blitz play. And then you have cover 6 up here. You also have cover 9. You could throw those in too. I don't run them a whole ton, but that's like a great way. If they're running like a super unbalanced formation, like a bunch, you can call like cover 6 to have cover 4 on the bunch side and then cover 2 on the back side. So right here, it's an open bunch. We're calling cover 6 to have the cover 4 on the strong side. And here, I actually would recommend using with this vert hook. You're going to have the first in-breaking thing from the left side, but that can only be one thing. See, that's only one thing. Or, like, if it's a 3x1 formation like this, you can also just use this guy, and he's pretty much not going to have any match assignments, so you can just kind of be like a free user, see, and just guard whoever. So you can throw cover 6 in every once in a while too. It's gonna really help you. It's gonna, cause like anything to the right side is gonna be covered well by these match defenders right here. Use cover 6 against like bunch and 3x1 formations to help with like balance the formation. You're gonna have more aggressive match zones on the strong side, and then you can just use the back side right here. Obviously, if there's an out route, you got to hustle to get to it, but if that ISO side receiver breaks in, you're kind of just like a free user to guard whoever you want. Yeah, that's pretty much all the plays I run out of this. But yeah, I would recommend you just make your main defense cover 3 cloud, call cover 3 sky, and then cloud the weak side like that. You just press triangle, and then the weak side safety, put him on a deep half right or deep half left if it's the other side, and then call your cornerback over there, put him on a cloud flat, and then just user if it's like 1st and 10 or you think there's a good chance of them running, call your base D. If you think they're probably going to pass, call your contains. You just use your switch stick. This is a great switch sticking defense, and a lot of people you can beat by just running this the entire game. So I would definitely make cover 3 sky turned into cover 3 cloud your main idea on defense. If they can't beat it, just sit in it and win the game. If they're beating it pretty consistently, then switch to your other defenses. You can switch out of here, or just on the next play run something different. It's gonna be all shell. It's all gonna look the same, so they won't know what you're running. And I just showed you like 8 different plays you can run. So just give them different looks, keep them guessing, and this is a really good way to play defense. Okay, so I'm gonna be showing you guys goal line defense now. If you're on the goal line and they're not no huddling you, first of all, I'll just show you out of 4-2-5 over G. If they just like get a big play and no huddle you, and you have to play goal line out of 4-2-5 over G, get to cover 2 as fast as you can, get to base defense as fast as you can, and play underneath if they're like on the 1 yard line. But like you'll notice you can still shoot the run with this Texas stunt here. So remember, if it's like 1 or 2 yards, so first of all, cover 2, base defense, and then shade underneath if it's like on the 1 or 2 yard line. Anything else like 3 yard line or less, I would recommend not playing underneath and just leaving your zones on aggressive zones to play underneath like that. Get on a safety too, just to help out with the run. You don't got to be worried about getting beat deep in this one, obviously. And yeah, see, like you can still shoot the run out of this. If you're worried about an RPO, you can call your RPO defense left here, and then in this case, I would just sit on a safety. Just sit on a safety and guard the run yourself. Let that hard flat deal with the RPO. Again, if they like no huddle you and you're in 4-2-5 over G, you're worried about an RPO like to the left, just call RPO defense left. Get on a safety to help with the run, and just hope that your ultra aggressive zone gets down there to make the play, which it doesn't quite there. I mean, he flew down there, but gonna make the play himself. You can also quickly switch onto this hook curl and play that yourself as well. And that Texas stunt in the middle should do a pretty good job of playing the run. So yeah, if you don't think they might be doing RPO, just cover 2 base defense. If you do think they're doing the RPO, do your RPO defense to that side. You can man this guy up on him if you want to. And those zones are going to absolutely destroy that RPO. Your ultra aggressive hard flat's going to fly down there, and then your man coverage is going to be there as well. But if you have a chance to get to this menu in the goal line, I recommend doing 4-3 even 6-1. Obviously, it's the most aggressive run stopping defense in the game. Call Tampa 2. And then if you think they're probably running, call your base defense, obviously. You can play underneath if it's close like this. Just get on a safety to help with the run. That Texas stunt is going to absolutely maul the run if it's going to. So call base defense. Even if you call contains, it's still, and they run, it's still fine because you're show blitzing. You still have a lot of zones to help out. You just might have to make a good tackle with your user on the safety if you're doing contains. And again, like I said, if you think your opponent is passing, do contains, play underneath if you need to, and then QE spy that fast defensive end you have at tackle on the right. User safety, like, oh shoot, it's spacing, let's guard all our zones, and he still gets in there, but like, if it's not in practice mode where everybody just plays like Superman, that defensive end is probably going to make the play right there. Like, yeah, there we go. God, we hold them out perfect. If your opponent happens to be running I-form Hulk on the goal line, this is when I would do cover 4 quarters out of 4-3-6-1 even. So you have 2 options for Hulk on the goal line, or like I-form tight. You can run Samo, Blitz, and base defense. And then like user safety here. See right there, we're actually able to hold them out. Or what I think might even be better, call Hulk defense and 6-1 even out of your out of cover 4. You'll see now all 11 defenders are in run fits. Again, just use the safety, see where they're going. And yeah, that absolutely, you might have to make a good tackle with your user, but it's Hulk. Like, it's going to be hard to stop, but this works pretty good right here. This Hulk defense on the goal line. This is the same thing for like any heavy running formation, like Wildcats, I form tight right here. It's pretty much the same. You can call Samuel Blitz base defense, or you can do the Hulk defense here as well. Just user right here, see where they're gonna run. You're probably gonna have to make a tackle with your user, but that's the best opportunity I can give you guys. It's not gonna be easy. Let's try Samuel Blitz base defense one time real quick. Um, Spread the linebackers because I think it's gonna be a stretch, obviously. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but these are like the best options I can give you guys. You're welcome to try goal line too, but I run 6-1 even, and yeah, this is pretty much how we do it. Okay, so I was going to jump into a head-to-head seasons game and play against somebody, show you guys a live walkthrough of my defense, and unfortunately, I matched up against the #1 ranked head-to-head seasons player right now in college football ultimate team, Landry 2Cuz. So I wasn't able to give you live commentary because I needed to shut up and lock in, but I am going to be talking through it right now and talking to you guys through my defense. So unfortunately, he's going to cage me to start the game. I step back way too far, so there's no chance of scrambling. And I throw an interception. Not only is it going to be an interception, but he is going to run it all the way back for a pick six. I'll go ahead and skip it, save you guys a little bit of time. And now the next drive, he forces me into a 4th and 9, and I actually have Calvin Johnson open for a touchdown. I notice it 1 second too late, and it gets underthrown. And that's already another turnover. If there's any time I needed my defense to step up and work correctly, now was the time. So starting off, we're just in our cover 3 sky base defense, and as you can see here, that's going to shut down the run with those Texas stunts. We already got him in a 2nd and 9. Then on 2nd down, he's going to throw a nice flat route to get outside of our curl flat. That's something you should take note of throughout the game, and you can only just change that to a hard flat over there if your opponent keeps throwing that. You don't have to change an entire defense just to guard one route. You can just change one zone or one assignment, which is something that you might see me do throughout the game, and I'll try to bring it up if I do happen to do things like that. Right here on 3rd and 5, we're just running cover 3 cloud, but this time I'm doing the contained defense instead of the base defense because I'm almost certain he's passing. See that contain comes free off the left, we get a hit on him, and we're in a 4th and 5. On 4th down, we give him a different defense. We run cover 4 palms with the contained defense, and as you can see, it bags everything. He was probably expecting cover 3 because that's all we ran up to that point, and we're able to take him by surprise, get the turnover. He comes out in dime defense, so obviously we're just going to go ahead and hand the ball off to punish that. We get a nice juke here with Hardy. Kind of get stuck on some linemen, then we get out left and just walk in for a touchdown. Now here he goes with a sweep on the first carry of the drive, and base defense will shut that down, but you just have to contain the outside with your user. I failed to do that. That could have been a loss of like 1 or 2, and instead it turned into a huge pickup. So that's just a user error, but base defense is still how you want to go, even if you think they're doing like a sweep run. And then right here, I'm still in base defense because it's 1st and 10, and I just know for a fact he's running the ball. Obviously, I mean, it's not guaranteed to stop the run. Again, there, he just got really good blocking, and he's going to get a nice pickup on the ground. 1st and 10 again. I'm still in cover 3 sky because I don't care about the coverage because he hasn't beaten the coverage yet. He's just running the ball. So the main thing is just sitting in base defense here. We get a pretty good stop out of it, force him to a 2nd and 7. And here he does a toss. We run base defense. It shuts it down pretty well again. I just don't make a good tackle on the sideline, so he gets outside of us for the pickup. But we do have him in the 3rd and 2 now. And what you're going to notice is he's going to do a formation shift to trips. I'm instantly thinking RPO, so I do RPO defense left. Unfortunately, I couldn't switch on to a different user, but the Texas stunt still just shuts down the run, even though we did our RPO defense macros. And now we have him in a 4th and 2. Right here, I switched to cover 4. I'm expecting a pass, so I'm doing the contained macro. So something I want you guys to notice is my outside cornerback is actually going to run down into the flat, and my inside linebacker is going to run with the slant route coming to the inside. The reason this happens is because I predicted the play. I predicted he was going to have a slant and a flat on that side of the field, so I made those adjustments to cover those routes. But you don't need to make these adjustments. If you think your opponent is running something like that, or just a cluster or a bunch in general, you can achieve exactly what you just saw by running cover 6, like we talked about earlier. So cover 6 is a great way to beat 3x1 or 3x2 formations. I just want to throw that in there, and let's watch him absolutely get bagged on 4th down here. Unfortunately, I wasn't in a mood to win today, I guess. I throw my second 2-year-old blind-ass interception of the day. He doesn't get a huge return, but he does have the ball again, and we got to get another stop. I know he's running, so I call my base defense. Unfortunately, his blockers pick us up well, and he's able to get to the outside. If your opponent's running a lot, you can obviously run cover 4 for more run fits and user safety to help out for running plays and call base defense. I just didn't think I'd have to there, but I definitely did, and he is going to go up by 7. Okay, here I have a first and goal with 3 seconds left in the half. I throw my wide open corner route and it gets airmailed. So we are going into half down 7 and my opponent gets ball back. This time I actually adjust well. We're running cover 4 with base defense. I use the safety and get out to make a nice TFL. Right here, he's actually going to no huddle in 2nd and 11. I'm still looking out for a run, so I do the base defense once again. And it actually ends up being a pass. He throws a nice flats to beat our stock cover 4, and when he's in a 3rd and 3, he doesn't no huddle in the 3rd and 3, weirdly, though. Here it's 1st and 10. I'm still in my base macro because I know he's going to run the ball. I unfortunately missed the tackle on the outside. That could have been a gain of like 1, but instead it's a big pickup. He's down to the 50-yard line. So here we get him to a 4th and 5, and I accidentally make the mistake of audibling the cover 3 Sky on the field, which puts us back in a cover 3 shell. He identifies that and throws a nice cover 3 beater over the top to his tight end. And now we're on the goal line. I'm sitting in cover 3. I don't care like what the defense looks like because I know he's just running the ball. So I call my base defense and hope I can make a play. Unfortunately, I take the safety out of his lane, and now he's down to the 4-yard line. And this is a great opportunity for me to show you the goal line defense. So he no huddles us. Like I said, I just switched to cover 2 base defense because I think he's running the ball. I'm going to use our safety to help with the run. That Texas stunt kills the run. And you could switch to 6-1 even if you want to, but here we got him backed up to the 6-yard line. I'm confident with just a big nickel over G still, cover 2 base defense. We end up making a pretty decent stop, and he only made it to the 4-yard line. Same thing, base defense, and he switches sides. I'm not too worried about an RPO because of our cloud flat on the outside to defend that, and you can see that's what it is, and that's exactly what happens. Now we've got him in a 4th and goal. Here I set up another match beater. He makes a terrible switch stick, and that's just going to leave it wide open for, I thought for a touchdown, but no, it's actually just, we get down to the 1-yard line. I'm just going to come out in I form Hulk, call aggressive blocking, and he has his defense balanced to the wrong side, so this is just the easiest walk-in touchdown I've ever had in my entire life. Next drive, we've got him in a 3rd and 2. We're just running our cover 3 cloud with contains. And you see that contain blitz just instantly comes in. Got him in a 4th and 11. What did I just say? 4th and 11 is what I meant to say. And he's going to no huddle, so we're going to switch to a cover 4. It looks the exact same, but it's a different defense entirely. And yeah, just completely cages him. Right here, I'm going to run dagger because I think it's match coverage. It ends up being like a zoned out defense, but I catch the drag route, break the tackle, juke him out, get the block, and that absolute highlight reel of a touchdown right there is going to end up forcing the rage quit on the #1 player in the world. So yeah, I just beat the number 1 ranked player. I said the world, but I meant on PlayStation, running this defense, and I ended up getting stopped 3 times that game and still won pretty convincingly. So this is a very good defense. Just keep giving them different looks, keep doing the stuff I've been telling you, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Twitter. I've got it linked. Feel free to come to my live streams, ask me questions live, watch me run this defense live, and other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this will help you guys out, get some stops. I'm trying to give out like free schemes because I don't like that people have to pay to learn how to play Madden. Because they don't have a choice. If you want to compete at a pro level, you have to have good schemes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm not hiding any information. I will tell you anything I know. And once again, I love you so much if you watch this whole thing or even part of it. God bless. Have a good rest of your night. And I just hope you guys have fun getting some stops.